Right. You know Kumar Sangakkara. He's a famous cricketer, well-known cricketer, world-famous cricketer, not only in Sri Lanka, throughout the world. Sangakkara. He was once cricket captain. Now the Lahore attack is really a speech. This is really a speech. Right? Really a speech. Now in this speech, Kumar Sangakkara speaks about a war, terrorism, and cricket. War in Sri Lanka and Sri Lankan cricket. But he pays much attention to Sri Lankan cricket, war, and less attention to Sri Lankan cricket. Right. The Lahore attack. Now, this is the story. This is the story. This incident takes place in Pakistan, not in Sri Lanka. This is about a terrorist attack. This is about a terrorist attack on Sri Lankan cricket. Terrorist attack on Sri Lankan cricket in Pakistan. Right? In 2009. Sri Lankan cricket team go to Pakistan in 2009 for some cricket tour. On the third day of the second test match, I think. Yes. Yes, second test. Third day of the second test match. Sri Lankan cricket team is attacked by terrorists just before the Lahore Stadium. The Lahore is the city of Pakistan. Now in this attack, terrorist attack, all cricketers are seriously wounded, but luckily no one get killed. The terrorist attacked the cricketers' bus. All cricketers are terribly wounded, but no one is killed. They are lucky. Now, it is this story Sangakkara describes it, speaks about. It is that story. He names it the Lahore attack. He names it the Lahore attack. Now, we know the Lahore attack is a true story experienced by Sangakkara and his team in Pakistan, Lahore. Now here in this story, Sangakkara's leadership, Sangakkara's heroism, Sangakkara's love for the country, patriotism, Sangakkara's sympathy and empathy for the people who suffer in the war zone in Sri Lanka are well manifest here. Now here, he speaks mainly about terrorism, how terrorists kill innocent people and destroy property in Sri Lanka and elsewhere. He says terrorism is everywhere, even in Sri Lanka, in Pakistan or India or England. Terrorism is everywhere. No one is safe. No one is safe. At any moment, there will be a terrorist attack. Right. Now, this is very simple speech, delivered in very simple language. You can easily understand what Sangakkara says. I will give you the real speech done by Sangakkara. It is in YouTube. I will give it to you for listening. Now, we read it first. We listen to this. Okay. Now, Sangakkara is the speaker here, remember. It is the first person point of view. I. He's the speaker. He's the one who tells us the story. Right. Now let's read first paragraph. I was fortunate that during my life, I never experienced violence in Sri Lanka firsthand. There have been so many bomb explosions over the years, but I was never in the wrong place at the wrong time. Now, Sangakkara begins the speech by referring to his situation in Sri Lanka before the Lahore attack. Right? Now here, this part of the speech depicts situation in Sri Lanka before the Lahore terrorist attack. Note it down. Okay? This part of the speech, 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 4 paragraphs. These 4 paragraphs depict, short, manifest how Sangakkara experienced the situation of Sri Lanka before the Lahore terrorist attack. Right. He refers to his own reaction, his own response, and also how ordinary people encountered this situation in Sri Lanka. He refers to war, terrorist attack, fights in the north and the east of Sri Lanka between the Tamil terrorists and Sri Lankan government army. There was the clash between the Tamil terrorists and the Sri Lankan government army. Right. Now, Sangakkara says, I was fortunate. Fortunate means lucky. I was lucky. Why? Why he says he was lucky? Because I never experienced violence in Sri Lanka. Now, Sangakkara says he is lucky because he was lucky, fortunate because he never experienced violence in Sri Lanka. What is this violence? Violence means, my dears, the clash or fight or war or terrorist attack, violence, killings, especially killings done by terrorists, violence. He refers to war in Sri Lanka. Now, Sangakkara says he was lucky man because he never experienced violence or terrorist attack in Sri Lanka firsthand. There have been so many bomb explosions. Now, underline these words, they are very important. Now you can see Sangakkara's response or reaction to this situation. How did he react? He says, there were so many bomb explosions. Bomb explosions. What is bomb explosions? Bomb blast done by terrorists. There were so many bomb blasts done by terrorists over the years. Actually, this war starts in 1980s, 1980s. And from 1980s, it continues up to 2009. So many years, more than 30 years. Now, during these 30 years, there were so many bomb explosions over the years. Sangakkara says he was lucky because I was never in the wrong place at the wrong time. And the wrong place. What are these wrong places? Bomb blasting places. Now, terrorists, they blasted bomb in certain places. Sometimes it's a bus station. Sometimes it's a railway station. Sometimes it's the airport. Sometimes it's a public market or streets. Or sometimes hospitals, anywhere. They are the wrong places. Now, Sangakkara says he never experienced bombs because he never went to wrong places. What are the wrong places? Those markets, hospitals, public places, railway stations, bus stations. He avoided them. What time? Wrong time. What are these wrong times? Morning, afternoon, evening, because terrorists used these three peak hours of the day. Sometimes they blasted bomb early in the morning when people go to work. Sometimes they blasted bombs midday when people gather at restaurants and marketplaces. Sometimes they blew off bombs in the evening when people travel home from their work. They are the peak moments of the day. They are the wrong time. Now, Sangakkara avoided bomb explosions by not visiting these wrong places at the wrong time. That was his technique of avoiding violence, right? He was a practical man. Everybody of that time followed that method. Even we ourselves, we never went to marketplaces unless we needed. Only if we need, we go there. We avoid it because of bombs. We even limited our travel into Colombo by bus because at any moment that bus will go off. That general fear was in everyone's heart. Sangakkara, as an ordinary man, also has had that fear. He thinks of his life. It's common, natural. Everybody loves our lives, right? Therefore, we do everything, every measure to save our life first. Okay, that's the idea of that paragraph. In Colombo, now Sangakkara, in this paragraph, he refers to his own situation, how he reacted to the war in Sri Lanka, violence in Sri Lanka. Now, in this short paragraph, Sangakkara refers to how ordinary people, Colombo people, reacted to this situation. Now, war, terrorist attacks was in the north and the east, not in Colombo. But sometimes, occasionally, time to time, these terrorists attack Colombo too by blasting bombs to remind the people of their brutality, of their presence. Now, Sangakkara is somewhat critical about Colombo people. He is very open-hearted. Sangakkara speaks open-hearted. He does not hide anything. That is one good quality of this man, open-heartedness. He never hides the fact. He says, in Colombo, apart from these occasional bombs, I told you, there were occasional bombs. Bombs exploded time to time. Not every day. Once a month, there is a bomb explosions. When people are forgetful about bombs, terrorism, they blast a bomb somewhere else. Right. Apart from occasional bombs, life was relatively normal. Now, Colombo people, they lived a normal life. Normal life. They lived their everyday life. People had the luxury of being physically detached from the war. People means Colombo people. Colombo people had the comfort. Luxury means comfort. That safety. They are in a safe zone. Colombo people enjoyed this safety, protection, because they are physically detached. Detached means separated, far away. These Colombo people are far away from the war. What is this war? War between Sri Lankan army and the terrorists. Note it down. That is the contextual meaning. The war between Sri Lankan army and the terrorist group. Now, Colombo people never enjoyed this, never felt physically this war because they were far away from north and east, Jaffna, Trincomalee, Batticaloa, Vaunia. They are the places, Mullatiu, that bombs were exploded, that fights were going on. Colombo children went to school. Now, Colombo children, they continued their education, but the children of the war zone, they had no education. They had but a little bit, not continuous education, because most of the time their schools were closed because of these conflicts, terrorist attack and army attack. Because of the conflict between both parties, most of the schools were closed. But Colombo schools, they ran properly, and their children attended them, continued their education. Even people went to work, Colombo people, but people of the north and the east had no work. Their factories, their workplaces were destroyed by the war. Most often they lived in refugee camps. Even they had their own houses. That is their situation. But Colombo people did not have that. Sangakkara contrasts the two situations, situation of Colombo and situation of the war zone. He is honest here. He refers to himself, he says, I played my cricket. Even I myself, I never thought of war zone, people of the war zone. I never thought of the young people of the war zone. I did my cricket. But young people of the war zone, they had no time to play cricket. Instead of a cricket bat and ball, they had a weapon. Instead of a ball, they had a grenade, bomb in their hand. They are the two situations. Actually, it was quite realistic. We experienced this. This is not a lie. This is the truth. of that time. Then he refers to other parts of the country. Other parts of the country, though people were putting their lives in harm's way, in dangerous way. But in other parts of the country, not especially Colombo, but now even we here in Polonnaru and Radhapura and other areas close to north and east, we were also in danger. We were also in danger, in harm's way. Not sure. At any moment, a terrorist might have attacked. Every day. Now these people, they live in a dangerous way in defense of their motherland. Defense means protection. Now young people of this area, they live defending, protecting their motherland from terrorists. Or sometimes just trying to survive. Sometimes they are trying to live in this area. The geographical circumstances, the situation, land situation, geographical means, because they have no other place to go. Geographical situations, circumstances that made them inhabit because they are limited to that place, they had no other place to go, therefore it made them inhabit. Inhabit means live. Because they are confined to that place, limited to that place, they had no other place to go, therefore they were forced to live. Inhabit means live in a war zone, fighting zone. Sangakkara says that's true. That's true. And he, in a sympathetic tone, he says, for them means people of the war zone. Note it down. People of the war zone. For them, avoiding bullets, keeping away from bullets. Now you know bullets, shells, mines, grenades. What are these things? What are these things? Some food items? No. These are man-killing weapons. Ammunition used in the war. Bullets, shells, mines, grenades. Now, people of the war zone, they happen to live with these things. They happen to live with bullets. They happen to live with shells. They happen to live with mines and grenades. It is comparative, essential for survival, for living. They had no life without these things. They had no life without these things. Bullet shells. Every day they try to keep away from these things as far as possible to save their lives. It was a fight between life and death. Every day, fight between life and death. Life here, death here. Any moment, death will come to you, take your life away. Right? Not sure. Sangakkara says, I had a great sympathy and compassion for them. Sympathy, mercy, compassion, love for them. Compassion means simply love. Now, Sangakkara says, actually, I was worried about those people. I had some love for those people, they are suffering. But I had no real experience, I never experienced truly real experience that I could draw parallels, create similar situations. Actually, I cannot create a nice picture of these things, this life, because I never experienced that life. Sangakkara honestly mentions, I never happened to be in the north or in the east. I never happened to be in the war zone. I never happened to be in Jaffna, Batticaloa, anywhere else. Therefore, I never experienced this war. Now you can see these 4 paragraphs clearly depicts how Sangakkara honestly speaks about his and his people's reaction to war in Sri Lanka before the Lahore terrorist attack. Before the Lahore terrorist attack. Right? I think you uh, must have understood what I said. Now let's write down a few words about this story. Okay. Write down the name of the story. The Lahore attack, quite enough. This part is quite enough. The Lahore attack, Kumar Sangakkara. The Lahore attack, Kumar Sangakkara. Okay. Write down the writer. The writer. Write down the first subtitle, the writer. Okay. Write down. Kumar Sangakkara. Kumar Sangakkara is a well-known cricket veteran, veteran, well-known cricket veteran, locally and internationally. A well-known cricket veteran, locally and internationally. Locally and internationally. The Lahore attack is a written speech. The Lahore attack is a written speech delivered by Sangakkara, at a cricket audience. At a cricket audience in 2014. In 2014. In 2014. He, full stop, he speaks about he speaks about a true incident that he and his cricketers experienced In Pakistan, in Pakistan, full stop. It is a terrorist attack. It is a terrorist. Terrorist. It is a terrorist. It is a terrorist attack that came upon the Sri Lankan cricketers, on the third day of the second test match. Okay. Then write down next subtitle topic. The speech summary. The speech summary. The speech summary. The speech summary. Write down. Sangakkara mentions that he never experienced any terrorist attack. He never experienced any terrorist attack in Sri Lanka because he never visited the public places during the peak hours, PEAK, during the peak hours of the day. During the peak hours of the day. He next says that even people of Colombo never experienced war and violence every day of their lives, and they lived a normal life. They lived a normal life. Full stop. But the people of the war zone but the people of the war zone happened happened to live with a dangerous war. Dangerous war. Dangerous war. Next paragraph. In the middle part of the speech, Sangakkara speaks about the terrorist attack that the Sri Lankan cricket team encountered 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 in the city of Lahore of Pakistan. Full stop. This terrorist attack this terrorist attack suddenly comes upon the Sri Lankan cricket team just before the Lahore Stadium. Full stop. Cricketers were fatally, F-A-T-A-L-L-Y. Cricketers were fatally wounded but no one was killed. Next paragraph. At the end of the speech, Sangakkara speaks about some personal experience some personal experience some personal experience that took place in Colombo after the Lahore terrorist attack. He meets a Sri Lankan soldier. He meets a Sri Lankan soldier who admires Sangakkara's duty, who admires Sangakkara's duty as a cricketer. Full stop. The soldier says that cricketers are the real heroes. And not the soldiers. Right. That is the speech summary. Then write down next title. Comment. Comment. Write down. The Lahore attack is a first-person narrative about a true incident that Sangakkara and his cricket team experienced in Lahore. In Lahore. This speech depicts the speakers leadership heroism, 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 patriotism, and his love and sympathy. And his love and sympathy. It also depicts it also depicts how ordinary people how ordinary people suffer heroism, patriotism, patriosim, heroism, patriotism. Ah. The speech also depicts how ordinary people suffer from the violence of terrorism. Violence of terrorism. Next paragraph. In the opening part of the speech, Sangakkara refers to his and his people's reaction. His and his people's reaction to war and violence. To war and violence, WAR, to war and violence in Sri Lanka. In Sri Lanka. Full stop. Sangakkara mentions that He used USED. He used a practical method to keep away from terrorist attacks. Terrorist attack to save his life. Full stop. Like everyone else of that time, Sangakkara also has a general fear, general, G-E-N-E-R-A, general fear, F-E-A-R, for his life and therefore he avoids, A-V-O-I-D-S, visiting the public places, at the wrong time, that terrorists used to explode bomb. That terrorists used to, USA, used to explode bombs. Please quote these words. There have been so many bomb explosions over the years, but I was never in the wrong place at the wrong time. Gone right in. Sangakkara is honest and open-hearted. In his speech, in his speech, he further mentions how people of his society, reacted reacted to war and violence. Full stop. The people of Colombo have indifferent feelings, have indifferent feelings towards the war. Please quote. In Colombo apart, life was relatively normal. People had the luxury of being detached from war. Right? Go on writing. Sangakkara implies that IMPLIES. Sangakkara implies that the people of the war zone, ZONE, never enjoy such a luxury, full stop. when the Colombo children attend their schools, when the Colombo children attend their schools, the schools are closed for the schools are closed for the children of the war zone. When people of Colombo when people of Colombo have some work to do, have some work to do, the people of the war zone are kept away from workplaces. And also and also when young men of Colombo have the bat and the ball in their hands, the young men of the war zone have weapons, weapons, weapons in their hands. It is mentioned it is mentioned that the people of the war zone, the people of the war zone are in a fight with death and life, are in a fight with death and life. Please quote. For them, avoiding bullets, shells, mines, and grenades was imperative for survival. Right. Last paragraph. In this way, in this way, in the opening part of the speech, Sangakkara speaks about In this way, Sangakkara speaks about his reaction his reactions, feelings and thoughts, and even critical comments, on himself, before the Lahore terrorist attack. In regard with the war and violence in Sri Lanka. War and violence in Sri Lanka. War and violence in Sri Lanka.